Test. Try it now, Josh.
2, test.
There we go. Power button came undone. Okay, we are back at Orange High School. Sorry for that, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties here in our first interview. But, Coach, same thing. Just go ahead, introduce yourself, introduce the guys you brought with you, and let's just give us your elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Hawks this year?
Sure. Thanks for having us. I'm Josh Nugent, entering our 5th year at Hawken, and we brought our senior captains with us this year, Taj Kaver, David Dettelbach, and Johnny Drockton. We're excited for this year. We have a lot of guys back, and we've got good youth interjected into the group as well. So we have a lot of excitement. We keep talking about the work that we have to do and the opportunities that we have this year. So it's early on right now, but we're starting to come together a little bit, and we're excited about where we can go.
All right. I'll come back to you, Coach, after I talk to the guys, but let's go right down to your right. And just get, gentlemen, every time I come to you, introduce yourself for the folks at home again, just name, position, and grade.
I'm Taj Kaver. I'm a point guard and shooting guard, and I'm a senior this year.
Taj, coming in, obviously you've had a great career so far, so this big year for you, senior year. What are you hoping to accomplish?
I really want to make it to districts. I haven't been able to do that in my high school career yet, so the goal is to kind of get a district championship. The last Hawken team to win sectionals was 2017, and then they lost in the district semifinals. So so my goal is for us to get there ultimately and to win the CVC.
Looking at what this team brings back, 3 out of your 4 all-conference players from last year are back. How excited are you just about the talent that's returning, the new guys that are infused into the team, and just the way that the team has gelled so far?
I'm really excited. Obviously, last year we lost a lot of our leadership with Dom and Danny leaving, but we kind of replaced it. We still have a lot of guys who are really talented, can really put the ball in the bucket. David, we know what he's gonna do in the paint in terms of defense and rebounding, and Johnny is the same thing. And I think we're a pretty big team. We don't really have, especially on our starting lineup, any guys who are really that small. So with that, I feel like we could really cause some problems defensively, and I'm really excited for that.
What do you think is going to be the key to success for Hawken this year?
Definitely sticking together. I don't see anyone that I feel like can derail us in our aspirations as a team as long as we stick together. So I feel like the biggest enemy as of right now is really ourselves. I don't think we're in competition with anyone else.
Obviously, Richmond Heights went on to play an independent schedule. You guys were second in the league last year. Is there a bullseye on your back?
I think a little bit, but I don't think that's really our mentality coming into this year. I think our mentality is that we're still chasing. We still haven't got it yet. The ultimate fact is that we came second last year. We still don't have a first place in the conference yet. So for us, I think we're still hungry and still ready for more, and we're looking to go attack everyone else the same way that we were last year.
Give me a breakout player, somebody not at the table, since we're going to talk to these guys. It's just a chance to recognize some of your teammates that have been working hard. Who do you think's a guy that maybe nobody knows about right now, but after a few games, everybody will know his name?
So last year we had 2 freshmen who played really well, Deron Hill and Greg Price. And Greg had a slower start to the year last year, but the steps that he's taken this summer are really impressive. And I think people are really going to see what type of player he is in the first few games. I think he's going to put a lot of people on notice. He's really worked on his game, got his body right, got his shot right. He's worked out a lot of kinks, and he's learning every day. He's asking more questions, and he's really trying to figure out who he is as a player, and I'm really excited to see what he does.
All right, sounds good. Good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right, move right on down to your right. Same thing. Just go ahead for the folks at home. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
So I'm David Dettelbach. I'm a senior, and I'll be playing center for us this year.
So, David, you get to control the paint. How do you like doing all that dirty work with all the other big guys throwing elbows and bodies and all that fun stuff?
I love it. I really learned over my time here to embrace the physicality, and I think this year especially, I'm being pushed especially hard at practice by our up-and-coming big men. Last year we had a smaller team, and this year we're bringing some physicality and presence down low. One of our sophomores, new to varsity this year, Kenna Obi, he really pushes me in practice, and I know we're going to get some competitive juices flowing, and hopefully that'll translate to the games.
What do you think the biggest difference is to this team compared to last year?
I'd say, so in high school, a lot of times, there's like one guy who's going to do it all or have a big night, but we're just a team that can, like, this year I know, like, it can be a new player having their game like every night. Like, there's always going to be someone new making a difference on the court, making an impact. Like, we're going to share all this like success as a team. And I know in like high school a lot of times we also lack continuity, and this year we certainly, I think, have some continuity. We have a lot of returning guys, a lot of guys who are competitive, who want to win, who have talent, and I think that's going to really just hopefully translate to some success as a team.
I don't want you to give away any secrets or anything like that, but what do you guys do on offense? How do you try and move the ball around to create some good looks?
On offense, I think we're really just about attacking the defense and making them play to us. So when we get a closeout, when we get guys coming at us hard, that's when we're at our best. That's when we're attacking the rim and then making kickouts, hitting guys cutting. So we really just want to get people moving a little too fast for themselves and hopefully just like exploit all those problems.
What's going to be the key to your success this year? What do you have to do well to earn a spot on those all-conference, all-district, and maybe all-Ohio teams?
Well, I think as a team, I mean, my goal as an individual, more like Todd said, is about, cutting the nets down, making some noise, hopefully winning districts as a team. But then also as a player, I just got to keep fighting hard down low and keep trying to make a difference on the boards and defensively.
Give me your breakout player. Who do you think's going to have a big year?
So, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm kind of partial as a big man, but I definitely think Kenna is going to make a lot of noise this season. He's big, he's strong, he's intense, he gets after it really hard in practice, and I think offensively he's also going to be a big asset for us down low.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on down to your right. Go ahead and grab that mic, and same thing, just for the folks at home, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Johnny Drockton. I'm a senior. I'm going to be playing the 4 or the 5 and sometimes the 3. And what else was this one?
Name, grade, position.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
You jumped ahead of the game already. You segued into my first question, but overachiever, you were one of those soccer all-stars we saw, was that last week? It
Yeah.
seems like forever ago, but great soccer season. How do you transition that into a great season on the court?
At our school we have this rule where you have to take a week off, and, I think I use that week to just get my body right, get rid of the bumps and bruises. And I think translating to the season, I think we have to shift my mentality, coming in here. There's a lot of talent, so I think it's just pushing everyone at practice, being a good leader. I think that's something I strive to do, and I think that's something that will help our team out. So I think just kind of changing my role a little bit.
What is that role? We know what your position is, but how does Coach want to use you? What does he look for you to do each night?
I think the biggest thing for me is I'm going to be the defensive energizer for our defense. I'm hoping a lot of games I'll get to go against the best guy. I kind of like that matchup of, my whole job is to not let their best guy score, and I think that's something that I'm working on this year, and I think that's going to be exciting for me because I like kind of getting into it a little bit, a little bit of banter between, getting their heads a little bit. It's always something fun to do.
What's the mentality on defense? What do the Hawks like to do?
I think this year in specific, we can switch it up a lot. Like they were talking about, we have a lot of size, we have a lot of athleticism, a lot of length. We haven't really done too much install yet, but I think a lot of the things we're going to do are getting after it, trapping teams, and just making people pick the ball up and try to force it out of their hands and be in the gaps and get steals.
Cool. Well, who's your breakout player this year? Who's going to have the big year?
I have 2. I have Jordan Johnson. He's going to be a junior. And I have Jacob Stosky, who's also going to be a junior. Last year, they were bubble players between JV and varsity, but they still got big minutes. And I think this year at practice, you can tell they come to every practice with a good attitude. They're really pushing everyone, especially like they were talking about. I think this year our biggest goal is working on defense. We have a lot of talent offensively, and I know we can put the ball in the rim, but I think we just need to work on defense a little bit, and I think those 2 guys bring energy every practice, and I think it's helping our team, and hopefully that will translate over at games.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year. All right, Coach, back to you just to kind of recap what the guys said. And, I always like to follow up with the coaches after they get an opportunity to listen to their players. And are they buying in? Are they hearing what you're saying at practice and getting the message?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love the way they answered it. It's always interesting to see how they're going to answer questions, and I think these guys nailed it on the head with everything that we're doing. And it's a process. So we're having some growing pains right now, but we're getting better and we're moving forward. And that's really what this 3-4 weeks before we get started into games is all about. So we like the direction that we're going for sure.
What's been the biggest challenge for you in the off season?
I think just coming together, like when you've got it, every year is a new year, even when you feel like you have continuity, even when, and we brought a lot back and all that stuff, but it's still, the dynamic changes, guys graduate, new guys get into the mix, and it takes time for everybody to kind of know each other and know each other's games and understand what our strengths are and where we need to cover up some things and things like that. And so it's all natural. It's all part of it. I think sometimes even as a coach who understands that, you hope that it happens a little bit faster than it's happening sometimes. But we've got great kids and that want to do big things, and they know what it's going to take, and so we're excited about that, and working with them every day is great.
Offensively, again, without giving away your secrets, what are you hoping to see on a nightly basis?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about, and we share stats about teams that score 40 baskets and assist on 32. Like we want to make it tough for you to know where it's coming from, to be honest. And we've got a group that can do that. Like David said, like every night it can be somebody different who kind of breaks out. And when you look at the scorebook at the end of the day and you kind of see 4 guys in double digits, it makes it tougher for teams to kind of come in and say, okay, we're going to take this away. So we want to get to that point that we trust each other enough to know that it can be someone different. It can be all of us. And when one person's got it going, like we've got it going. And we share in that, and we enjoy that success as we go through.
Everybody loves to score. Everybody loves the offensive side. How do you get them to love that defensive side as well?
Well, we understand, and these guys even answer this, like we can make our lives easier on the offensive side if we get after it on the defensive side. If we can be disruptive and do some things and take advantage, like these guys said, of our length and athleticism, then we can get out and go and have and be really tough for other teams to have to deal with if we can get playing downhill. And we understand that people know that, and we understand that we're going to see a lot of things to try to take that away, but we can dictate that a little bit by the way we buy in and do things defensively.
Keys to success. What's it going to take for the Hawks to do what the guys said? Maybe chase down that conference title, make some noise in the postseason.
Yeah, I think it's about taking it one day at a time. I think we've all kind of identified and talked through and understand the things that we want to do and feel like we're capable of doing, and now we got to kind of keep that as maybe a compass for us and understand every day that's what we're building towards, but we can't get too far ahead of ourselves at any point. Teams are too good. When you play everybody twice in a year in our division, the coaches are good, the kids are great, people make adjustments, all that stuff. You got to bring it every single night. And we expect the dogfight. And I love what Taj said too about we haven't done anything yet. So we're chasing it. We don't feel like there's a bullseye on our back. We actually feel like we've got to go get everything that we want to do. So we just want to keep building, keep coming together closer as a team, building our relationships and see where we can go.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys, number one, being on time and being here to share your story about the season, and best of luck to you this year.
All right. Thanks again. Thank you.
All right. That was the Hawks boys basketball team live here at the CVC Winter Sports Media Day. This is the first of 4 Media Day events. Tomorrow we'll be out at Independence. On Sunday we'll be out at Kirtland, and then we finish, I believe, the next Sunday out at Berkshire. I can't remember that last date, so don't quote me on that. But up next, we've got the Chagrin Falls Tigers. Let's see if I can get Brittany's name right. I always get it wrong when I type it in a story, and I have to go back and change it. And when you know somebody has one name for so long and then they get married, they kind of throw a wrench in the program. But Coach Lasik, thank you for being here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce the ladies you brought with you, and then just give us your elevator pitch. What can we expect out of your squad this year?
So I brought 2 seniors and a junior. Madison Nightwine, who's a forward. She's a senior. Amelia Banco, senior forward and guard, and then Lily Sukis, a junior guard/forward, more so guard this year. This season, we're rebuilding a little more than I think we anticipated back in June, going into our summer schedule. We have 2 freshmen that are playing at the varsity level this year. And then we've got some people playing some different roles that they're not necessarily used to.
High school basketball, right?
Yeah, high school basketball. You got to be, ready to be that utility girl and go in at any of the 5 positions and be able to play all 5 of them. But through this rebuild, I think everyone's been really positive. And as we kind of retool the lineup and redefine some of those roles, people have really embraced it. So far this preseason, it's been a lot of fun. It's gone much quicker than it has other years. But some of the things that we were planning on doing in June, maybe we're not going to be doing this season. But that's okay. You know, a coach has to make adjustments and players make adjustments. But we're in a really competitive division. We've added a new school to our division. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how things start to shape up.
You brought that up, so let's segue right into that. The divisional change, it's cool in one regard because now you get a couple different teams to play twice in a year. In another regard, you're adding another quality team into an already challenging division. So how do you get the girls to step it up and raise the bar a little?
I think we played a pretty tough scrimmage schedule to start out, and I think our non-conference slate is pretty good to try to get ready for some of these CVC games. The bottom line is you got to go out and win games. Nobody really cares who it is on the other side of the court. You just have to figure it out. So, we're going to rise to the occasion no matter what and try to play our best. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I grew up with the CVC. I mean, I go back to when my sister played and it was still like Solon and Chardon and Twinsburg in it. So to see it develop yet again and change into something else, you just kind of have to roll with it and, get your scouting report done and have your practice plan set and figure it out.
Still 5-on-5.
Yes.
So that doesn't change.
No.
So, all right, Coach, I'll come back to you. Let's start to your left. And for the folks at home, go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Yeah, I'm Madison Nightwine. I'm a senior and a forward.
Madison, so obviously a lot of changes both on your team and your division. How are you embracing it as a senior, just to kind of know that, hey, we've got some changes. We're just going to face that adversity the way we do everything else?
Yeah, so just through practice, really, we're always working hard together. Communication will probably be a big thing this year, definitely. Stepping up our defense with our lack of height this year. We'll definitely have to pick that up. So.
Well, the good thing is there aren't too many teams that have a lot of height. So the lack of height in girls basketball isn't so bad because not everybody's like Coach that dominates on there. And when you get a girl like that, it's fun to have. But when you don't, and Chagrin, it's been a while since you've had a big. So.
Yeah.
So in a lot of teams, you run out there with 5 guards and do the best you can. And so what's going to be the key to success this year for Chagrin?
Yeah, like I said earlier, communication, I think, on the court is going to be huge for us. And that and just effort. Everyone needs to be able to contribute out on the court. And when we can, it brings us together more.
You told us your position, but what is your role? What does Coach look for you to do on a nightly basis?
I think really going after some rebounds and putting the boards back up, definitely. And defense, again, is our big thing this year.
Defensively, what's the key? How do you guys get out and just play that intense style of defense Coach likes?
Yeah, so
Because when you guys are the Tigers and you guys play like a Tiger. So you can't see me on camera, folks, but I'm making those Tiger claws.
yeah, so definitely help defense is huge with us. So communication, again, having to shift over and cover each other and help, it's huge.
What have you learned from the older girls when you were a freshman, sophomore, junior, that you're kind of implementing now and passing down to the younger kids that you're leading?
Yeah, so Kate Bartlett last year, she was great down in the
Stud.
blocks. Yeah,
2-sport stud, 3 maybe, right? Didn't she run track?
No,
or she was just 2? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. Her communication with the whole team, instructing everyone, I think is a huge inspiration that I definitely look up to.
All right, so give me a breakout player, somebody not at the table, since we're going to talk to your teammates. Someone you think's going to have a big year. They may not know about her now, but after a few games, they'll know.
Yeah, so like Coach said, we have 2 freshmen up on varsity. So Avery Russell, I think she'll be definitely one to look out for.
All right, sounds good. Let's pass that down to your left. And same thing, just go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Amelia Banco. I'm also a senior, and I am both a forward and a guard, a little forward heavy this preseason.
How many Bancos are there? You had Caroline, wasn't there one before that?
Yeah.
Carolyn and Julia
Okay, so wow, big Banco family. So that's always nice when you get the siblings. They're already broken in, they know, so that's good. Are you filling their shoes, or are you kind of blazing your own path?
I mean, I think for the most part, all throughout my life, I kind of felt like I was filling my sister's shoes. I wanted to be a guard like she was, but I think this year for sure it's something new and different, stepping into that forward position, kind of like it better a little bit so far.
So you must be
Something
one of the
fun.
you're one of the taller girls on
Yeah,
the team. So
yeah.
coach, okay, you're a forward.
Yeah.
Now you're basically a guard playing forward. How
Right.
hard's that transition?
It was easier than I thought. There's definitely, I mean, going up against girls closer to 6 foot is challenging, but just using my body and just boxing out girls in the paint is hard.
Does coach get out and practice and work with you?
Sometimes she does.
So you
Sometimes she
get
does.
yeah, you're not going to run into too many players that have
Right.
her length. So
For sure.
so you get a little taste of that in practice.
Yeah.
Does that help? Just kind of
For
working
sure,
against
100%.
that. Yeah?
Yeah.
What's going to be the biggest challenge for you aside from that height disadvantage you'll face in many games?
I think it's just a new skill set compared to being a guard for sure. But I have a lot of trust in coach, and as a forward herself, she has a lot of good advice to help acclimate me pretty quickly.
She's a good one to listen to.
She is.
So, all right, so looking at your team, what's going to be the strength of this year's squad? Every team kind of has an identity. What do you think yours will be?
You know, I think despite all of us being guards, I think we have a wide variety of our skill sets. We have a good amount of decent shooters to really good shooters like Lily. And we have some new players stepping into it forward, like not only me, but Nora Pope. She's been a forward throughout high school. Anna Goodwin, she's on the shorter side, but definitely does a good job down there. So I think we just have a wide variety of skills that piece together really nicely so far.
Cool. Give me your breakout player.
I'm going to touch on the other freshman, Abby Kay. She's like a pesky fly in the best way possible. You don't want to be playing against her, especially on defense. She is small but mighty, and she's really tough when she's defending you. And she's a big help on offense, too. She has a really nice shot.
Those are the best kind of defenders, those
Oh,
little
yeah.
pesky ones. They don't have to be big, but they're just always in the right play. Abby Bartlett from Perry, you know her. She just constantly, good, intense players. I like that. So, all right, well, good luck to you this year.
Thank
Let's go down to Lily. Lily, go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and position.
I'm Lily Stukas. I'm a junior and I play a guard.
I now have to ask you what your PR is since you ran cross country this year and you went to state. I mean, who does that, Coach? Who takes up a sport for the first time and goes to state? That's so crazy. But congratulations on that.
Thank
But
you.
what led you to cross country? You know, I mean,
Well-
you played basketball the last 2 years and now all of a sudden cross country.
Well, I've played soccer most of my life, and then I also ran track. And we went to states in the 4x8 for track, and I just had so much fun, and I love my coaches and my teammates. And I've run most of my life, so I decided that I wanted to try cross country this season, and I loved it.
I joked with Coach earlier in the season that now you're running cross country, the offense is, you're going to be well conditioned, so you guys are going to run. But has the offense changed because of that? Are you ready to run a little more, or is it all still kind of picking your spots and doing those things?
Yeah, I think we have a really good team to push the tempo this year, so we can press and play a really fast defense and be really aggressive and definitely just get up and down the floor a lot.
I don't know how you raise the bar after what you've done the first 2 seasons, but how do you do that? What's next for you?
I think I have a lot of goals this year, and our team has a lot of goals, definitely to try to win the CVC again, and just keep getting better at different aspects of my game, like shooting, passing, driving, and just ball handling.
So before you ran cross country, I assume in the fall you did some open gyms, that type of thing. Did you still get that in despite cross country practice and meets?
Yeah, I still played in a fall league on Sundays, and then I also had training, so I would do cross country practice, and then I would go to basketball training and stuff after. And then I did a lot of different things in the summer to try to get ready for this season.
Freshman year, you come in, nobody really knew who you were. You earn all Ohio honors. You come back. Did you notice the defenses playing you a little bit tighter, more bodies on you, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I definitely feel like freshman year I got a lot of different looks and a lot of open shots, and then sophomore year it was a little more closely guarded, so I had to kind of drive a little bit more. And I think this year might be the same with face guarding and things, so just finding a way to get open and just get everyone on the team involved and just find all my teammates and everything.
Does that help your game when people, intensify their pressure and tighten their defense on you?
I think it definitely makes it harder, but I like the challenge. I think it's really fun to try to find different aspects that I don't have of my game yet and just keep developing in different ways and getting new strengths and things.
obviously everybody's going to say, okay, we're playing Chagrin Falls. We have to stop Lily Stukas. Who on your team is going to pick up the slack? I mean, have you seen that in practice where they're not like, well, Lily will score, we don't have to do anything? Are you seeing the other players say, hey, we've got to be ready to pick it up too?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of players that can step up, and we have a really well-rounded team. Like, we have Amelia this year playing forward, and we had a scrimmage last night, and she played great. And then we have our 2 freshmen, and they're definitely going to make a positive impact. I think they're experienced, and they play AAU, so they're used to, like, that up-tempo type of game. So I think they'll definitely make an impact. And then we have a lot of other players with varsity experience. I think Elena will definitely make an impact, and Nora Pope will too. So I think that will be good.
Okay. Give me your breakout player. Who's going to have a big year for the Tigers?
I think Amelia will definitely have a big year, and like playing forward this year, like she's already done a great job, and she can just basically do everything. Like, she can play down low, she can shoot, she can handle the ball. So I think she definitely will be.
All right, well, good luck to you this year. And again, congrats on that state run to cross country. That's
Thank you.
impressive. All right, Coach, let's wrap up with you. Obviously we talked a little bit about the girls offensively, defensively. What are you looking for on the court this year, both sides? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Offense, I think it's something where we really have to look to distribute the basketball and get it to an open player. So is it not working?
No, it's on.
Okay.
I didn't see the things going up. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's okay.
My bad. I think working the ball around, really good ball movement. You're not going to be able to just stand and let Lily shoot. Every single person that's on the floor in offense is capable of scoring. Every girl we put out there is capable of scoring. We just have to make sure we put them in a position to do so. Working on passing, making sure we're finding the open player, making the extra pass is going to be critical in order to achieve that. Defensively, you know how we like to play. I know some people think it's boring basketball. I absolutely love it. Goal to keep teams under 10 a quarter, under 40 a game. So in
I
girls
call that
basketball,
Cuyahoga Heights ball. That's
I,
what Al Martin
I
does.
love Coach Martin.
Yes.
So, so our games, I mean, if somebody looks at it on paper, they probably don't think it's super exciting, but absolutely love that style of basketball. It's something that's physical. And you have to talk, you have to communicate your way through that. So, both ends of the floor, it is team basketball, 100%.
The funny thing about Cuyahoga Heights basketball, that Al Martin style, is if you're getting that disruptive to a team's offense, it takes away from their defense as well, because you're in their head. And
it gets into their psyche a little bit, yeah.
So slow
sure.
it down, play aggressive defense. That's
Yeah.
especially when you're facing, those teams that have some size where you might be at a disadvantage. That defense will come in handy.
Absolutely.
So, all right. What are your 3 keys to victory? What has to happen for Chagrin Falls to be successful?
I think team rebounding is going to be huge. We keep talking about lack of height. We don't have a 6-footer in the middle to do that and to carry our team. Lily was our leading rebounder last season. So everybody's going to have to make sure an effort. So we might not have somebody who has 10 a game, but if everybody can get 5 or 6 boards, that's fantastic. I think continuing that MO of really good team defense is going to be important. I don't think we're going to have one defense that we run all season. I think we're going to mix it up depending on, how we scout people. But everybody has to buy in and know what their job is. And then the third thing is just collectively moving the ball in offense. It can't die in one spot on the floor. Getting reversal, pushing tempo in transition. That'll get us the best opportunity and find the open girl.
Outstanding. All right. Well, I appreciate you and the rest of your Tigers making the trip out here. And
thanks for having
the
us.
rival school, or one of them at least.
Yeah,
So.
we feel at home in our orange and black, though, so it's all good.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck to you, and thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here. All right, that was the Chagrin Falls Tigers girls basketball team out here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the Orange Swim team, and I'm going to take a quick break because I do not like the position of this power strip. I keep nudging it, and I think I'm knocking out the audio. So I'm going to make a quick change while the Lions are taking their seats at the table, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Orange High School for the 2023-2024 Winter Sports Media Day. This is the first of 4 Winter Sports Media Day events. Today we're out at Orange High School, and up next we've got the Orange Swim Team. Coach, go ahead and grab your microphone, flip that black switch up, introduce yourself and the swimmers that you brought with you, and then just give us a quick elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Lions in the pool this year?
My name is Wally Lutkus. Prior to this, I spent time in college coaching and whatnot. I brought Avery Spears, a senior, Thomas Kalkilev, a senior Tomas, I should say, Emma Kozak, and Nina Deshpande. And they're all senior swimmers of mine, and they've been around me for 2 years, so that's kind of where we're at this point. This is my second year.
Okay, so compared to last year, how more comfortable are you, in this point in the preseason with where the kids are and, getting their times under control?
I think we're making good progress right now. We had some of the kids swim in the Mark Braun meet, which is a USA meet this weekend. And from what I heard, it sounds to me like the kids went some good times. So we've only been in the water 2 weeks, and this is like our 17th or 18th workout this morning. But other than that, I think we're doing really well. So from what I can tell, it looks like we might be ahead of the game at this point.
Great.
Which is good.
All right, well, let's...
Amen, I say to you.
All right, let's work our way from your left. Go ahead and grab a microphone. And for the folks at home, introduce yourself. Let's do name, grade, and what events you swim or are planning to swim this year.
All right, so I'm Avery Spees. I'm a senior, and I'm planning on swimming probably the 100 and 200 freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming in, senior year, obviously second year under coach, how different has things been, or has it kind of come together now that you had a year in his system and his training?
Yeah, so things are certainly a lot more organized just because the first year was a bit chaotic, first year coaching. Now we started a good bit earlier than we did last year, so things just kind of feel like a well-oiled machine now. Things are going really smoothly.
And just from the individual perspective, how are you feeling at this point in the season? Are you where you think you need to be?
Well, it's still the preseason, so I think I've got a little ways to go, but certainly I think it's looking good from here.
What kind of goals do you have for yourself this year?
State champion, perhaps. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Nothing
see.
too lofty.
Oh yeah, no. Olympics potential. So yeah, I think that I can set some good times to obviously beat last year's PRs. So, beyond that, we'll see where things go.
I was like swim teams, cross-country teams, they tend to be like some of the teams that have the coolest team bonding activities. Do you guys have some fun stuff?
Yeah. So, as per usual, we bleach our hair in the winter and then shave it off for districts. I don't know, beyond that, I just think a lot of like dinners and breakfasts before the early morning practices, that sort of thing. It creates a good environment.
Right. All right. Without naming anyone at the table, since we're going to talk to them, give me a swimmer, do a boys swimmer. I'll ask the girls for a girl swimmer. Somebody that's going to have maybe a breakout season. Somebody that maybe nobody knows about right now, but after a few meets, everybody will.
Probably Galvin Dovkin. He had a really good season last year. He did well at districts, and it was his first year ever swimming. So I think that this year we'll really see some great things out of him.
Outstanding. Let's work our way to your left. Same thing. Name, grade, and what event you plan to swim.
Hi, I'm Thomas Jakulev. I'm a senior this year, and I think I'm going to continue with the 100 breast and potentially switch over to freestyle, maybe 100 free, 200 free.
How long have you been swimming?
I've been swimming for 7 years now competitively. I started when I was 10 years old.
All right, so you get into the youth program, and
Yeah.
what made you fall in love with swimming?
Well, I think first it was swimming with my friends. So my friend got me into the sport, and then really developing with good coaches, going to all the swim meets with my friends, and then going to like dinners after, or maybe having activities with them on the weekends. I think the fact that a lot of the swim teams are so bonded is what makes you fall in love with the sport, even though it's like hard to go to practice sometimes.
Absolutely. That's the same with cross country. It's a tough sport, but I think that's what draws the kids in and develops those bonds. You're going through so much together, it becomes, it's like going through Army basic training. You can't help but say, okay, hey, dude, you're going through the same thing, so it's good. All right. What are you looking to accomplish this year?
Hopefully get into the finals for states, maybe podium potentially. I think the relay is looking pretty good this year. We could probably podium. The Amato twins and probably Nick Bustamante for the 400 free. Last year we did pretty good. We lost our senior loss in Blazer, and Nick's going to be there to replace him, and I think we'll do good in that.
When you look at Orange Swimming, it's always been I don't know about always, but last 10 years or so at least, it's been a very competitive program and a very competitive league. How much does that help when you're swimming against the Hawkins and the Chagrins and there's just so much competition out there?
Well, knowing, I think the first 2 years having, on and off coaches where we were continuously switching, and now having a consistent coach where we're feeling a little more confident, and I think we know what we're going to get into. I think we're able to make better predictions for what we're going to go against, and having the success that we had last year, I think we're overall a more confident team. So when we're going against these other teams like Hawken and Chagrin, I think we know we can have a chance to win because we've put in the work and we know what we're going to do, and we're just going to try and win.
Give me your breakout swimmer. Who do you think is going to have a big year this year?
I think Nick Bustamante is going to have a really good year this year. He's been training really hard. He came off of cross country. He's already conditioned. I think he just has the mindset this year to try and win, and he's going to take the step up for Lawson Blazer, like I said, in the 400 free relay. And I think he'll just get it done.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
We'll work our way down there. You don't have to pass that. They've got 2 in front of them. But all right, same thing. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home. Name, grade, and event you'll swim in. Oh, flip that black switch on your mic. There you go.
Hi, I'm Emma Kozak. I'm a senior, and I swim mainly freestyle and individually and both in relays. And yeah.
So coming in second year under coach, are you more comfortable coming to practice, just knowing his expectations and what he expects as far as the work ethic and intensity?
Yeah, practice with different coaches are very differently. So once we got set and we got the routine with Wally, we did a lot better. At first it was a little shaky, but now we're here and we're going. It's a pretty good routine.
What's been the biggest difference from last year to this year?
I would just say we all stretch as a team before practice, and we all do the same stretches every day, and it's very strict, same thing.
What do you like about swim practice?
Well, it's just fun. It's just a fun time.
I don't think people are supposed to say practice is fun.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes it's
yeah,
fun. That's good.
We keep it fun.
As long as you're walking away after practice saying, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the work and putting in the effort, I guess it can be
Yeah.
fun. We'll make it fun. Looking at the girls' team, a lot of new faces, a lot of veterans.
Yes, we have some incoming freshmen that are very good. I think Liz Campbell is a very good addition to the team. She is a very fast swimmer, and I think she'll do great this year and years to come.
Is she your breakout swimmer then? Did you beat my question and answer that already?
Maybe I did.
Maybe? All right, we'll come back to it. We'll give you a
Okay.
couple minutes to think. But looking at the girls, I mean, obviously, Hawken, is it 22, 23 straight state championships?
Yeah.
It's harder to win a conference title than it is a state title for people in the CVC. Does that help you raise the bar a little bit? I mean, knowing just how much competition is out there?
Yeah, it shows us that even in just dual meets, we need to get up and show how fast we can go, and that it's not just a meet, a little meet. Every meet matters.
Sounds good. All right. Well, now, who's your breakout swimmer?
Liz Campbell.
All right. Good luck to you this year.
Thank
And
you.
let's pass that. She's got one in front of her. Either way, you can pass it or she can just pick that one up. Name, grade, and event you're going to swim.
I'm Nina Deshpande. I'm a senior, and my events are the 100 free and the 200 free.
Pronounce your last name again, because I type it all the time in results and stuff, but I need to hear it again.
Deshpande.
Deshpande, okay,
Yeah.
because I always see it, and it's always one of those names I'm like, oh, I hope I never have to say that, but Now I have some reference. But how do you feel coming into this year? I mean, are you more confident being in a second year under coach?
Yeah, I'm definitely more confident. Like kind of how everyone else was saying, like now that we have the routine down and everything and being with him last year, I think all of us are a lot more confident with the practices and everything now.
Were there big changes that he implemented, or is it just, I don't know, I've never been in a competitive swim situation, so I don't know how practices are run, but did he change a lot, or is it just pretty much just the way he coaches that's been different?
I think nothing really changed that much. It's like pretty much the same routine as last year, except like our practice time, but like pretty much the same thing, and like practices are still similar as last year, which is good because those clearly got us in shape really well, and yeah.
All right. And looking at your season, what are you hoping to accomplish?
I really want to qualify for states this year and kind of just PR in all my events that I swim. Yeah, pretty much it.
When you practice, I have to imagine you're timing yourself in your races, or do you just, I mean, do you compete against yourself in practice to try and beat those PRs, or how are you setting that up? What do you do to try and get faster?
I am, yeah. Wally also likes to time us sometimes and call out our times, which is nice. It's really hard to like go like PR in practice, but definitely like trying to just pace yourself and go times that will help you eventually reach a PR.
Having some competition just within your own team, does that help you? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
like you said, you can't really PR in practice because the competitive edge isn't there, but when you have some teammates swimming next to you, does that help?
Yeah, and kind of like how Emma was talking about Liz Campbell, she's a very good freshman. She's been really pushing me a lot lately too. So yeah, just a little bit of competition is always good because it always makes us try harder in practice.
You can't let those new dogs become
Yeah.
the big dogs, so you got to work hard. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
So give me some swimmers on your team you think are going to have a big year.
Definitely Liz, and also sophomore Anya Chapala. I think that's how you say her
Oh,
last
no,
name.
not another hard name.
Yeah. She's a sophomore. She had a great season last year, and I think she's just going to continue to get better. So.
All right, outstanding. All right, Lions. Well, I appreciate you all making the long trip to Orange. Do you guys practice? You have a pool here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't even have to leave for practice. Like some schools don't have a pool, so they have to go. Yeah, go ahead. Grab your mic. Grab your mic.
Very quickly, my wife is my assistant coach. If we think about the Hawken kids or the people like that are going to U.S. and Hawken, a lot of those young men and women have been swimming since they were 4. You notice that Tomas said that he's been swimming since he was 7. There's no comparison. I mean, it's like looking at Ohio State and taking a grade 1 athlete and looking at them and thinking how many of those kids came from Ignatius. That's really where we're at.
Yeah,
Just want to let you know. And again, my wife Susan is my assistant coach. Just wanted to mention that.
Sounds
She's not here today.
All right.
Thanks,
Coach. All right, that was the Orange Lions swim team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Thank you, Lions, and best of luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we've got the West Geauga girls basketball team. Once again, I want to let you know CVC TV is presented by Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Welcome back to the 2023-2004 Winter Sports Media Day. This is the first of 4 Media Day events. We are here live from Orange High School. Unfortunately, our YouTube stream is not working, so we will publish this later tonight for your viewing pleasure. But next up, we've got the West Geauga Wolverines girls basketball team head coach and athletic director Brandon Stewart all the way to the left. Coach, I'm going to let you start out. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and the girls you brought with you, and then just give us your elevator pitch. What can we expect out of the Wolverines this year?
Thanks for having us. This is a great event, obviously, for all the teams to participate in, so we're happy to be here as we get ready to start the season. Today we have 2 of our seniors, Maggie First and Hannah Williams, and then one of our sophomores, Callie Kormos, with us today. This is a year for us where after last year we graduated 8 seniors, 4 starters. But we've got good numbers in the program. We have 17 kids right now between the 2 teams. We have 9 freshmen, which is awesome. So we've got a good core of returners led by these 3, and then a young group that we're really excited about that are coming up and learning a lot. We just got out of practice and headed over before we headed over here. But these guys are working hard, and we open up on Wednesday against Geneva, and then Sunday we're out at the Ohio Tip-Off Classic at Hiram against Berkshire. So it's here now, and it's game week, and it's time to go.
Came quick, didn't it?
It really did. I mean, these things, you think like you start practice in October and you're like, oh, we got until like Thanksgiving for that first game, but we got 4 scrimmages in the last 2.5 weeks and got to see some good competition in that. And now we've got a game in less than 48 hours, and it's gonna, told them today, like we're gonna have a lot less practice time because it's gonna be sometimes at least 2, if not 3 games in some weeks. So it will really start to pick up here after tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, well, let's slide over to your left. And Maggie, go ahead and introduce yourself for the folks at home, name, grade, and position.
My name is Maggie First. I'm a senior, and I'm a center.
So Maggie, coming in, you had the sisters, oh God, why can't I remember, Hosevars, jeez. It was only last year. I forgot already. So you had the Hosevar sisters for the bulk of your career, and now you're a senior, and it's you. And, you get your moment to, not that you haven't had moments to shine, but you're the big dog now as a senior. How's that feel to just kind of be in that role, and how are you kind of handling that additional pressure of being that senior upperclassman everyone looks to?
It's definitely weird, finally being a senior. I've seen so many people graduate, as I've gone up through high school. I wasn't really nervous to be a senior. I knew what I wanted to bring to the team, what I wanted the culture to be when I got there, because I've had good teams with terrible attitudes. It's just not fun to be there, and I've had bad teams where I've had a great time, and I just wanted to, create something where everybody feels welcome and is excited to be there, excited to play, especially because we have a lot of younger people now, so yeah, it was definitely important to me to be a strong leader, to be somebody that people could look to. So.
Cool. So coming in as a senior, obviously you've got your role as a player, but as a leader, how are you embracing that, and what are you doing to show the younger girls the right way to prepare and play? And how did you learned a lot from those older girls, and how are you kind of sharing that with the younger kids, passing it down?
I always try to remind them that I'm never angry with them, because I know that they don't know yet, because most of them never played high school basketball before. So if I correct them or, tell them something else to do, I just want to remind them that I'm trying to help them. I want them to be the best player that they can be while they're on the court, to help the team. Definitely just trying to make them comfortable on the court, trying to make them not scared of me, because I feel like sometimes I could look a little mean.
You give that vibe. You give that vibe. It's like, ooh, I don't want to say anything to Maggie. She'll crush me and punch me. It isn't bad to be feared, But so what is your role that coach is looking for on the court? I mean, you've got to go out and score and produce. You've got to be active on the defensive end. But how do you meet his expectations?
Being a voice out there, because again, people don't know what they're doing, and a lot of times it's a lot faster paced for them, so they get confused a lot, which is okay. But when I'm out there, I try, especially being, in the backcourt, being able to see everything. I try to, speak as much as I can to try and help them figure out the game.
Cool. What are your goals as a senior? What are you hoping to accomplish, both for your team and individually?
I want to finish off strong. I have a lot of years of basketball under my belt, and I want to, go off with a bang. For the team, I'd like to see us grow together. I want to see us make it past the district final, because I think we can do it. I think we have a lot of heart this year, and so I'm really proud of that. I'm really happy with that for my senior year.
All right, last one for you. Give me a breakout player, somebody not at the table, since we're going to talk to your teammates here, but somebody you think nobody knows about right now, but pretty soon after a couple games, everybody will know.
Elsa Henderson. She's a freshman this year. I played tennis with her. She's super athletic. She's really smart. She just needs confidence, because I know that she has it. Everybody sees that she has it. She just needs to look into herself and know, that she has it.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
And let's work our way down to your left. Same thing. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
My name's Hannah Williams. I'm a senior, and I'm also a center.
All right, so two centers vying for playing time. You running the big lineup, coach, or you?
Whatever it takes.
How's that going to work with two centers? I mean, is it something where you know what your role is going to be, or is it just when she's tired you go in, or how's that going to work with two centers?
Yeah, usually I'm Maggie's sub, so I try to help Maggie out the best that I can. Last year Maggie didn't get a lot of subs because nobody stepped up into that role, and that's hopefully going to be my job as I try to do this year.
A lot of kids wouldn't be happy with a role like that. You seem like you're okay with it. You're like, hey, she's the number one, and I'm going to do my part to, not have a big gap when she's off the court. Is that the way you're kind of embracing that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What do you bring to the court when she's not on it? I mean, what's going to be the gap? Is there going to be a big drop off, or is this something that with effort you can make up for her not being on the court?
I think that Maggie has a lot more skill than I do, but I have a lot of voice on the court. I try to be one of the players who talks the most, and I'm always calling out where I am and telling players where to go, and that's important to me. Last year there was little to no communication on the court, and I think that's kind of what made us lose last year and fall off in the end, and I hope that this year that's one of our strongest points is communication on the court. So.
You can't see it, folks at home, but Coach Stewart was nodding his head the whole time Hannah was speaking. And folks at home, kids at home, listen to Hannah. If you aren't the starter, take her approach, because that's how you win over your coach's love, you win the respect of your teammates, and then you never know when you're going to get that opportunity. That's just great to hear. It's refreshing to hear somebody that's like, well, I'm not the starter, so I'm not happy, and, that kind of thing. But you seem like you're all in for the team, and that's a good thing. So what drives that?
Well, I play a lot of sports, and I also have a lot of siblings. I'm one of 13, so
wow.
I've never been, the top of, anything, and so I've kind of come into a role where I'm going to do everything that I can to be the best and help out as much as I can, but, when I'm not first place, it's okay to me.
I want you to name all 12 of your siblings in alphabetical order.
I don't know if I can do alphabetical. I can do from oldest to youngest.
I don't think I could name my 3 siblings on the spot. Okay, I know your name. I wouldn't want to do it because I'd leave somebody out. That's a lot of siblings. Mm-hmm. So you've learned to share early on in life, and yeah. That's good. All right. What's going to be the key to success for West Geauga this year? How are the Wolverines going to achieve the goals you talked about earlier? Or Coach talked about earlier, sorry, and Maggie.
I agree. I think Maggie said this a little bit earlier, but our energy is a lot better this year. Players last year came and they wanted to go home, and nobody wanted to be at practice, and nobody wanted, we weren't really friends. But this year I feel like there's a connection on the team that is really good, and people are laughing at practice, and we're having a good time, and it really boosts the morale around, and people want to win, and people are, ready to go out this year.
That is awesome. I love talking to you. That was great. That's refreshing. Before I let you go, though, give me your breakout player. Who's a player on your team that maybe nobody knows about right now, but after a few games, she'll be all over the place?
Ava Bors. She's a freshman this year, and I'm one of the people who kind of convinced her to go out, but she's never played basketball before in her life, and you would not be able to tell. At practice, she's the quickest, and she's forcing turnovers in all of our scrimmages, and overall, I think she's a really great player, and watching her, already in the last couple weeks, she's, exploding with talent, and I can't wait to see her grow for the rest of the season.
Outstanding. Well, good luck to you this year. All right, last but not least, go ahead and for the folks at home, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
My name's Callie Cormos. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a guard.
So sophomore coming to media day. What earned you that right?
I don't know. Brandon asked me to come, and I'm ready to show up. So
Hard work, effort, that would have been a good answer. Not just like, well, coach said show up. So. But good. All right, so sophomore year, are you feeling pressure being a sophomore varsity player?
a little bit, but I played with Maggie and Hannah last year, and they both really boosted my confidence last year and this year on the court, and I'm just ready for that energy to continue throughout the season.
Well, as I alluded to earlier with Maggie, she learned from some really good basketball players when she was a younger player, and now she gets to pass that down. Are you seeing her do that?
Yeah, I am. And Maggie, she always, if I mess up, she'll say it in what she said, a nice way. She's never trying to be mean. It's just constructive criticism.
And when Maggie speaks, people listen.
Yep,
You're too young to know that E.F. Hutton commercial. Brandon, you're probably too young too. But when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. It was always like a 1980s commercial. But did I just age myself? I did. That's sad, sad. So coming in, what's your role this year? I mean, we know your position, but what's Coach looking for you to do on both ends of the court?
I'm hoping to be a good player on defense, and then he's looking for me to score, and I'm going to do my best to do whatever I can on the court.
Who's going to be your complementary scorer? Where's the other scoring coming from? I know Maggie's going to pick up a lot of it inside.
Me, Maggie, and then there's another freshman, Phelan. I think she's going to have a lot of points on the board. She's a really good player.
Obviously, opposing teams are always going to say, okay, we've got to shut down Maggie, and then they look at the number 2 scorer. Is that you? Are you that? Are you up in that? My basic question is going to come down to this. You're going to draw some extra attention at some point in the season. How do you work through that when teams are playing you a little bit more aggressively than you're used to?
Well, I'm going to try and be as aggressive as I can back, and I'm just going to try my hardest to do whatever I can for the team.
All right, give me a breakout player. You mentioned a freshman already. You can go with her, but give me a little more on her. Why is she your breakout player?
I played with her in middle school, and she is just she has a great shot, great ball handling. She's a really strong player, and I think she's going to do really well this year.
Outstanding. All right, Coach, back to you. Just to kind of recap, I always like to follow up with the coach when they're done. Just you got to hear what your players had to say about the upcoming season. Is the message being received? Are they saying the things you want them to believe in?
Yeah, absolutely. It really starts with such a young team. It starts with our seniors and our upperclassmen. Callie got to dress varsity last year, so did Hannah, and play a little bit here and there. But they got to be around that environment. And Hannah now for a couple of years on a team that went to a district final and then a district semifinal. So they've been around it and they know what it looks like. So when we say it, sometimes it as coaches, it means a little bit more when it comes from their peers. So when they talk about that environment to these freshmen who haven't seen that, it really means a lot. And Hannah is by far one of our best voices on the floor, on the bench. Doesn't matter where she's at, she's always talking, and we're really hoping that translates with these freshmen as they come in, because we know the nerves are going to be there. We've been talking about our defense is really going to have to carry our offense for the first couple games, especially at the start of the season when you're trying to figure out an offense. And we are going to start a couple freshmen. We're going to be young. We're going to rotate people a lot. But most importantly, they're working hard, and that defense is really going to have to lead to our offense in transition early on.
Obviously, the CVC divisional alignments changed a little bit. Chagrin got a little tougher. The Lake's always been tough and got a little tougher. But yeah. How does that help your squad? Is it help you raise the level of play?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. 2 years ago we shared. 2 years ago we shared the division with Chagrin, and I think that's our first goal is to win our division. You add Richmond Heights in there now, and that is a different team that had a really good year last year. I think they went to a district final, maybe got to regionals. I can't remember exactly where they ended up finishing up. I know they had that game with Cornerstone late, but yeah, that's a really good team that comes into our division, and they've done a really good job over there building up that program. Chagrin with Lily. Coming back is obviously going to be tough. Here at Orange with Rachel, she's a really tough player. And then also at Hawken, they've got a new coach and some kids coming back as well too. So, expect it to be competitive as always in this division every single night. And I think, looking at our non-conference schedule, it's hopefully going to build us up and prepare us, for those games once we get into the division.
Sounds good. All right, well, that's the West Geauga Wolverines girls basketball team here at CVC Winter Sports Media Day. Ladies and Coach, thanks for coming out, and best of luck to you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
We will have somebody out there, so you'll get our first CVC coverage of the year. All right. All right, that was the West Geauga Wolverines girls basketball team. We've got a quick break, and what I'm going to do is shut down this live stream since it's not working to YouTube. I'm going to create a second and make all those changes so that we can also go live. Never fear, though, the interviews we already have conducted have been recorded. I will upload those when I get home tonight so you can watch those. We do apologize for the technical issues. Those are the things that happen, though, when you bounce around from school to school and firewall to firewall. So we're going to change some things up, and hopefully we'll get that live stream going as well as the recorded interviews. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes. I believe, let's see who our next interview is. We've got a quick break here, followed by Brooklyn girls basketball. So Brooklyn girls basketball will kick off the second half of tonight's CVC Media Day event.